Alright guys, so a few of you over the last year have asked me to aerial document an abandoned open pit mine. So that's what we're going to do today in today's Gly Shorts. That's right, so here we are, an abandoned open pit mine. Let's take a look down into the bottom of this thing first. So I'm going to tell you exactly how these work, starting with the pit itself. Okay, so what you can see here is, they got down far enough to where they hit the water table. Generally when that happens, they've got big pumps to pump that water out. Now, as I circle around here, let me see. Let's go around this direction here. I want to show you the geology. Right there. Take a look at that. See the road going down into the pit? And it's cutting through all of those uplifted layers. Now, those are called benches that you see right there. And the geological layers that those benches are cutting through looks to be like a lot of iron. There's some limonite in there. I'm not sure exactly what they were mining here. It could have been a multitude of different things. But that's how it works. So when this open pit started, it started with the topmost bench, which is what you see on top of that hill right over there. Okay, and then they blast down another 100 feet, okay, create another bench, blast another 100 feet, another bench, and so on and so forth, all the way down until they get into the bottom or below or underneath the ore body. Now over here you can see there's a big bench that they haven't excavated yet, but generally what would happen right there on that bench is they would have a drilling platform down there. They would drill holes, load in the ammonium nitrate and fuel oil, okay, and then touch it off with explosives, and that's how you progress the bench throughout the pit. Okay, so where does all this material go? Well, some of it's going to go over to the crusher, to a crushing pad, and some of it's going to go over to the waste rock pile. So, I'm going to take you over here first, and I'm going to show you the waste rock pile for this open pit mine. It's really something that can only be appreciated from the air because it is so large, but here it is right here, right off to the left. This is all waste rock. Junk material, as they say. And as I get a little closer, let's go around this side over here. Just look at the size of that pile. All pushed out with giant equipment, generally D9, D10 Caterpillar bulldozers, push it off the edge, making these humongous conical piles. Look at the size of that. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, next. Now that we got a chance to look at the waste rock pile, oh yeah, I can also see here where the dump trucks made a perimeter of rock so that somebody doesn't accidentally Thelma and Louise off the edge right there. Okay, so now the ore that they're going after where does that go? Well, let me show you. So what we'll do is we'll kick it up here. We'll put it in sport mode. This area is so large, it'll let me move around a little faster. Now you can see the road coming out of the pit right there. Okay, well that's the road that the giant dump trucks or the haul trucks would have hauled the ore out. And as we follow the road here, we're going to go right down here to the crushing pad, which is right there. So down here, what they would have had is giant rod mills or ball mills, and they would have crushed the ore. Either that or a cone crusher. Now, generally, cone crushers are the most ideal piece of equipment to use in these types of operations. So I'm going to imagine that that's what they were probably using here. Now, what are we looking at down here in this big pile? Well, what that is a bunch of PEX or PVC pipe, HDPE or polyethylene polyethylene pipe. Yeah. Okay, so after they crush the ore, then what do they do with it? Well, it goes on a system of conveyor belts and heads over here. So these conveyor belts are called stackers, and they line them up one after another, stacking the ore in these levels that you can see right here. Then, looking off to the left, you see that right there? So they're going to make one layer, and then on top of that layer, they're going to line it, or they're going to run HDPE PEX pipe, back and forth on that layer. Okay, then they're going to do another lift, and they're going to lift it up to a second layer and do the same, and a third layer and do the same. Now over here, let me show you this pile. Here's another one that they just got going. You can only make them so high, okay? These are called leach pads. Now underneath all of that material right there is a non-permeable layer. Think of it as a gigantic tarp. And as the cyanide solution works through that PEX pipe that you can see down there in the bottom, it leaches through all of the rock and eventually and picking up all the gold and the silver and all the valuable minerals, and it hits the non-permeable layer, and then eventually it runs out over to a catch pit. And I'm going to show you that here in a second. Now, generally, the size of the rock that you need to crush down to is about it's about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch minus. And what that means is 1 inch or smaller. Now, if you go any smaller than that, the problem that you have is that the cyanide solution won't leach down through the heap leach pile properly. So there is a size, that size is really important. All right, now here's our pit. This is where all of the cyanide solution eventually ends up. Okay, these heap leach pads are tapered so that the cyanide solution can work its way down to the catch pit right here. Notice they have a fence around it just to keep the animals out. Now, in operations like this, what they do when they close is they treat everything with soda ash or similar neutralizing agent, okay, which cleans up the cyanide, neutralizes it, making the water safe for the environment. However, here they still have a fence around the catch pit. They still don't want animals going in there and taking a drink. Probably not the best of water. But in order for this operation to get their bond money back, they have to have that tested periodically via the EPA. And if it keeps coming clean for a period of time, then what eventually happens is they will get their bond money back. They also have to get approval from the BLM. All of the roads out here, all of these piles need to be tapered. Drainages need to be put back close to what they used to be. There's a whole series of steps for an operation like this that the mine has to complete in order to get their bond money back. An operation like this, to bond out this much land, is definitely in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you don't want to get your money back, you just walk away. But most of the larger mining companies, they try to clean things up. This one here, it looks like they did make a valid attempt of cleaning it up. Mother Nature has done her job of making new cuts from thunderstorms and snow melt, etc., etc. Now, as I work my way off this direction, you can clearly see in the geology right there the uplift of that hill. See how it's on a dip of about 45, not 40, that's steeper than that. I'd say closer to 65 to 70 degrees. And that dip is tracking across the benches, and they're clearly observable. And down in the bottom, one more look before we fly on out of here. is the potentially the water table. It could be, or it could just be collected from surface water. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, let's fly one more time around here before the old drone runs out of battery. Just a beautiful area. Take a look at, I mean, can you believe this day? This is a bluebird day. Old Bob parked there out on that knoll. What a fantastic, just a fantastic day to be flying the drone. There's no wind whatsoever. We're going to go around this direction here. If you guys want to take a look at this on Google Earth, just Google SEMA, California, and look a little bit off to the, I think it's off to the north or northwest, and you'll see this open pit on Google Earth. Alright, there's one final thing here I want to show you. Let's flip the drone around real fast here. That'd probably give us enough space so I can show it to you. There's our heap leach pad with our crushed ore. And right down here in the bottom, right, there is our collection pond. And there's a stockpile. Right here, there's a stockpile of ore that is yet to make it to the crusher. So if you see something like that at one of these places, you might want to just kind of swing a metal detector through it, especially if it's a gold mine. Of course, it needs to be abandoned. You can't be doing that on an active mining claim. But that is, I believe that is a stockpile of ore that never made it through the crusher. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this little overview of a open pit mine today. Yeah, that was kind of fun. And thanks again to all of you who have contributed to the channel to help purchase this amazing drone so that I can do things like this and show you places like this from this unique perspective. Alright guys, I'm going to get on out of here, and I'll see you all again this coming Saturday. Okay, take care everybody. Bye-bye.